What's up? Happy New Year. Happy 2026. It's kind of late in the month already, but this is my first video for 2026, and I am already back in New Jersey, and I've already played 3 shows with a Queen tribute after wrapping up the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Had a great tour with TSO and having fun playing the music of Queen, and I'll probably be doing it a bunch more this year. So thought it'd be a good time to update the preset and talk everybody through what I'm doing. I'll also be doing the TSO preset, and I will be making an FM3 version of the TSO preset because a lot of people have been asking for that. Makes a lot of sense. A lot more people on the FM3 than on the FX3, and it's easy. My presets are pretty simple. It's pretty easy for me to port it over, so I'll do that. If you click the link in the description today, you can get my presets for the Queen tributes I play for, and I'm just going to take you through and check it out. I'm running screen capture on the editor, and I've got a camera pointed at my pedal board. If you have any questions about this pedal board, I made a video about it previously. It's here on my channel. And this is just a regular FM3. It's not the turbo, and I can do a lot with it, and I'm excited to show you how. So real quickly, to recap, this is a Disaster Area Designs MIDI Baby 3 that I've got program up and down, program down, program up, and then here I've got a view switch. This is a little 2-button, I think it's a Mission, 2-button foot switch, and I can switch the view on that. And this, I'll talk about what this does in a second. And I've got a Fender, whatever it's called, expression pedal that I'm actually not using in the Queen presets at all, but I use it on other presets a lot. And this is a BMG Red Special that I bought as an open box special from Guitar Center. And very quickly about me, I've been playing the music of Queen, I don't know, for about 10 years now. I first did it with a symphonic version of the We Will Rock You arrangement, so it was on book, and I did it on a Strat, and then I started working for Mark Martel, who's one of the best interpreters of Freddie Mercury's catalog going, and at that point I got this guitar, and I did my first tour with Mark on a Atomic Amplifier 12, and then I moved over to Fractal and I got the FM3, and that's what we're looking at here. So this is my main preset, and you can see in the editor I've got it's pretty much what you'd expect. I've got the treble booster. Settings are as you see them, and this EQ is flat. I'm just using this in order to mix my dry signal and my chorus and phase shifter signals in this preset. And then the amp is the Class A 30 watt. Settings are as you see them, and then I've got a little reverb in here. It's a little room. It's not doing that much. And then the cab is this Legacy, and I've got 2 cabs loaded. It's the same cab twice, and I've just got 1 panned hard left and 1 panned hard right. Yeah, this one's panned left. It should be panned hard left, and the other panned hard right. Quick note, I tried moving over to Dynacabs, and I couldn't get a satisfactory result yet. We'll see what happens, but right now, it spent so long finding the right IR and everything, and you can see what this is. It's a 212 blue mix Celestions, and this is part of the reason the Dynacab wasn't working out for me, is because this Celestion IR is a mix of microphones, and I have to have 1 cab hard left and the other cab hard right so that I can do the Brighton Rock gimmick, which, if you're not familiar, sounds like this. When I switched to Dynacabs, if I did 1 Dynacab left and the other right, then I can only put 1 mic on each, and and I wasn't able to get the mix of mics, which is when it starts to really come alive. I tried setting it to stereo, and I couldn't get it to work. So I like the way this sounds. I'm not going to mess with it. All right. One thing that I switched up this year is I changed how to navigate the scenes. So I'm really navigating all 8 scenes using the 3 foot switches, and I'm doing that by using the toggle and the press and hold function. So if you look here, you have to kind of look at the top row of the display, and you'll see on push button 1, I go from rhythm to clean. So it just goes rhythm, clean. Okay? On push button 2, I go lead, and I go to this clean lead, which would be for the crazy little thing. Okay? And then on the 3rd button, I go from the lead filter, which emulates the out of phase sound. I go from the filter to the phase. So like, what is it? All the phase shifter stuff. Okay, so that's those presets. So I've got rhythm, lead, and lead filter on a single press. I've got clean lead, and lead phase. And then the brighten solo, I press and hold on the first button, and I press and hold to get Love of My Life. So if I was using this without my extra pedals, press and hold on the center switch is your escape button, and that takes me to the master layout. I just have this view button over here to take me back. It goes between scenes and effect view. All right, so that's what I did in terms of mapping the pedal, so I can access all 8 scenes, and then using my extension pedal, I can navigate the views. When I'm using the boost pedal, it's labeled boost because I originally used it for boost, but I don't use it for that anymore. What I'm using this for is on the lead filter sound. Just to clarify what that is, I don't use the Brian May pickup selection thing to get his lead sound. You know, he gets a lead sound by having these 2 pickups on out of phase. And if I do that, I get a ton of noise. I mean, you know, like that's the tone, right? But it's really hard to navigate on the switches and everything. So instead of doing that, I just use the basic sound. And I use, like you can see this wah block is engaged. And I use that. And that gets me in the ballpark, and I don't have to mess with these switches, and it's on the foot pedal, so I can just switch right into it. And then on this, I switch the channel, and it switches where I am in the sweep. And so that's the... So I have both of those sounds available. And right, you can get back and forth between those 2 very easily. And then the other thing on Killer Queen, I can go from this part. Get between the lead phase and the filtered sweep sound really easily. So that's on navigating the pedal. Let's look at the other parts of the sounds. I know a lot of folks want to do the clean sound just by rolling back, which you can, but I have this clean sound set up where it's clean. It's cleaner when I'm full up and chorusy, so again, it's all on the pedal. But if you dig in, you can get the if you dig in, it's kind of enough to do under pressure without stepping on the pedal at all, which is kind of nice. So that's the clean sound. As you can see, it's got the chorus. And what I'm doing here is the chorus is set 100% wet. And then this EQ block, it has the level reduced. So I'm getting the mix just between these two. And if you were to go to the view mode and turn the chorus off, you would lose a little level, but you wouldn't lose the whole signal. And this is just a workaround because I needed to use all these slots in order to do this. So I wasn't able to kind of put the chorus and the phaser in series. So I stacked them like this, and I'm mixing them using this 100% wet mixed with whatever the output of the clean channel is. So on the rhythm is amp channel A. The lead is amp channel B. What's clean? Clean is amp channel C. So you can see I'm just messing with the gain level on the amp in order to get those things. I don't know if I changed the drive block between those. Let's see. Treble booster on rhythm is channel A. On clean is channel C. And on lead is channel. So yeah, I changed the settings on those, that both the amp and the drive blocks for all three of those in order to get like maximum saturation on the lead sound. So I've got some reverb in delay on the lead sound, which is not muy authentica Brian May, but it works for me if I'm playing Tie Your Mother Down or one of those. It's kind of nice to have that. Or like I Want It All. Like, it's just nice to have the big sound, I think. And then you can see this lead filter. Again, it's just that it's essentially the lead sound. Yeah, it's the lead treble booster, the lead amp with this fixed point Crybaby. Toe down is the 7.5. Heel is 5. And then just some, I think that's still a small reverb, medium room reverb. And then when I go to the lead phase, now I've got the phase shifter. And this is for 7 Seas of Rye, Keep Yourself Alive, and that section of Killer Queen. It's his phase shifter sound. So it's all about kind of taking all those tunes and then like codifying like them into buckets. You know, is it the phase shifter sound? Is it the clean chorus sound? Is it the delay sound? And trying to fit it into just 8 scenes. So Brighton Rock's a special, so that's here on a press and hold. And there I've got the delay. It's whatever this is. It's a dual delay, and it goes back and forth. And it's very dry, which is, you know, that's part of the Brian May thing. Sometimes it's very dry, you know. And as you can see, that's 800 milliseconds and 1600 milliseconds. So that's that. And then Love of My Life, this is an auto swell. So here it's the filter sound with this auto swell and the volume pan block. So, and then you just have to kind of be really gentle with it. And then for this most recent gig, we added Take My Breath Away, and for that I roll this tone knob all the way down, and it's more. You kind of play with your finger along the neck. It's not tapping, you're just kind of playing with your finger along the neck, and it gets me really close to that sound. I was really happy with the result. On Crazy Little Thing Called Love, you're going to use the neck pickup by itself because for the Telly inspired thing. And you can get through that. So that's everything that's in the preset. So let me just say a quick disclaimer to the top of the video. I'm tuned to E flat because the singer I was working with wasn't feeling well, and we wanted to bring the whole thing down a half step. So I'm tuned to E flat, which is not usually the case. I had to adjust the guitar that morning and everything. But there are certain songs that we never do in the real key with certain singers, and for that reason, and I'll put this in the Dropbox if you follow the link. I have two presets, one that brings me down a half step, one that brings me down a whole step. And that's why it's really cool that I got the new firmware, because they improved the tracking and the latency and the pitch block. So if I go up to this one, you can see now the pitch block is enabled -1, kill dry, and I have this corrective EQ, which is a thing that I started doing when I had to use this for TSO. It's just kind of, there was a muddiness, and I kind of EQ a little muddiness out, give a little level back. So it sounds like this. As opposed to. And then down a whole step. And I've got, and everything else in the preset is identical on those. And I only have to use it on like 3 songs, I think, in the whole set. Last but not least is this acoustic preset, and this is for the top of Crazy Little Thing. I'm just doing this. And that's using a Taylor impulse response as the cabinet. And then but I also, for this most recent version of a Queen tribute that I'm doing, I'm playing acoustic on an acoustic version of Love of My Life. And for that, I'm using a real acoustic. And so I just put the processing for that here in this same preset. And so that's for my Martin GPC 16. And then this is for the emulation. So if we look at it really quickly, you can see that the cab is this Taylor IR. And that's what's doing it. And there's a lot of other juice on this. It's got like a tube pre and a compressor. And then because for the emulation, right, I put this mixer in here so that I could run this other preset right here where I bypass the cab, and I'm using all this other stuff. And I'll do a little bit of playing on that, and then we'll call it a day. So here's my Martin. It's got an LR Bags pickup in it, which has a mic and an undersaddle, so I can kind of mix the two together. And it came out sounding, I made this preset just to give it a little EQ and reverb and compression. And I'm really happy with the result. Here it is just through the mic. And now here it is through the FM3. The part I was playing was kind of fingerpick. I did it hybrid. And it worked out great. One of the house guys, we got like a little feedback at one point, and he said I was getting a little bit of mud. And so I think I already had this low cut on there, this low shelf or whatever it is, high pass. But I added this, I think it's like right around 300, kind of, you know, a little dip right in there to clean up some of this low mids. And did the trick. So I was very comfortable because we're on ears, and it's like you want to feel the space around the acoustic. And so I was really impressed. I was impressed with the FM3, the LR bags, and and my own playing, sure. So anyway, so that was the acoustic part. Thanks so much for checking this out. I hope you dig it. Please subscribe to the channel. Please give it a like. And I'll be coming at you much more in 2026. I'm looking forward to a great year. We'll be doing this. I'll be playing a bunch of other stuff. And I'll be releasing some new courses. If you want to check out my course, it's called 30 Surefire Rock Licks. And it's available at AngusClarkGTR.com. There's a discount code in the description. So again, thank you so much. Let's have a great year. Let's play some guitar. Let's do good things.